Hey guys, it's Lonely Fanboy 48 here, and I'm bringing you another Lonely review. The show that we're looking at is the same people who made iCarly, and that is Victorious. Now, before I start this, I just want to point this out. I really didn't like the show when it came out in Nickelodeon. I just couldn't get into this show, and what's worse is that I don't understand why people like this show. They say they like it because Victoria Justice was the same actor who played a role in Zoe 101. I'm sorry, I didn't see that show. And she's a talented singer. And while I can understand that, but I just can't understand why people like this show because of its humor and its tone. It's not that any of the casts are terrible, it's just that they execute in the most worst way possible. This is the first show that Dan Snyder makes these characters have the same architects from other characters in iCarly. Like, Tori is kind of like Carly, and Jade is just basically a different version of Sam, but still aggressive. And everyone else is original, and Kat, she's okay in the first season. She was a little annoying, but since later on when the seasons keep going and going and going, her IQ just gets stupid and stupider. That's just something I really can't stand the show. And what's worse is that it's a little mean-spirited in the worst way, and the humor is just like iCarly's. We're pretty much not on a good start. Secondly, people like Pie Guy Rules never made reviews of this show in his Bomb in the Bakery thing in his channel at all.
I wonder what I'm gonna do with Victoria's theme Bottom of the Bakery. Never!
People say that this show is just too generic, and I can understand what they're coming from. I really didn't like this show that much because it's really boring and the characters don't make it any better. The jokes that the characters try to do aren't funny and they're just so weak. This, in my opinion, is when Dan Snyder's shows start to get really downhill as possible. People say that iCarly did, but to me, Victorious is the reason why Dan Snyder should retire from writing more episodes and shows. But anyway, the episode that I'm going to be looking at is the Birthweek song. If you want to know why I wanted to review this episode instead of any other Victorious episodes that are worse than this, it's because this episode turned out good at the end, but just go back to being bad again. If you don't believe me, then let's get into it. I'm just gonna get the subplot out of the way. You see, in subplots like iCarly and Drake and Josh, they can be funny and they can work with the subplots easier, but here, the subplots just go in that aren't funny whatsoever. In fact, the subplot is Robbie is trying to help her grandma to know how the internet works, and she keeps forgetting. I'm really sorry. I know that this really has nothing to do with the episode, but I'm really getting sick of the blinded grandmother stuff. It just doesn't work for me. And secondly, at the end of the subplot, Robbie just fakes her grandmother that the internet is cancelled. That's basically all there is to the subplot. And also, about her making fun of Kat and his crazy guy or something who's in the bathroom who breaks it or something, isn't funny at all. These subplots in this show are just really worse than iCarly's. At least in iCarly, the randomness is funny, but here, the randomness, this isn't randomness. This is just thrown in for something. Just to make us laugh, but it's just making us feel bored. I can really understand why this show is generic because of subplots like this, but we're not into the main plot. Let's get into the main plot. The real plot is that Tori needs to find the perfect Birthweek present for Trina. And since I said Birthweek, you pretty much understand that Trina, one day just isn't enough for her, so she decides to have a full week dedicated to her. How about just have birth month, or birth year, or birth decade, or birth century? If you want to know why I have a problem with this, then later on you will. You just haven't understand it yet. Andre decides to help her, and they come up with a song called You're the Reason Why. And to be quite honest, it's a good song, but trust me, after the performance, you're pretty much gonna hate Trina as much as you think she's gonna be hateable. So after a very entertaining performance by Tori, who sung You're the Reason Why, we get this.
Happy birthday, Trina! Thanks! So where's my present? Kidding me? No, where's my Birthweek present?
She doesn't accept the present because it didn't cost anything. I'm not kidding. She didn't accept the present that Tori gave her because it didn't cost money. Man, where do I begin with this? Look, it's fine that the present doesn't cost anything. I'm okay with that. I didn't have a problem with that when I was, like, younger. But here, when she's, like, 15 or 16, that is just completely disrespectful and really not respecting what Tori did for her. Especially when she said this.
I can't believe that you're not deep enough to appreciate a gift that totally came from my heart. A song is not a gift. It is too. Can I wear a song? No. Can I eat a song? No. Can I flaunt a song and make anyone jealous? No, you failed.
You can listen to the song repeatedly. That's something. She didn't even mention that the fact that she can listen to the song and repeat it over and over again. Plus, she never talked about how good the song is. She just said it's terrible because it didn't cost anything. She didn't talk about how good the vocal cords are. She didn't talk about how good the music was. And she didn't even talk about the lyrics in general. She just talked about that it's terrible because it didn't cost money. And for any of you guys say that repeating over again the quote that I just said about that, Tori put all that song into his drive, the drive of the song, and that's why I didn't talk about that earlier. I'm really sorry, but the point is that Trina never talks about how good the song is, and she didn't even accept the fact that the gig is only 8. That's how much the drive is that it's only 8, and she still complains about that. If you really think that this can't get any worse, then trust me. When Trina is in school with Tori, they have a talk.